Oh, shoots. Hello, everybody. All right. I'm starting the day with a little technicality. All right. So, conversations with Lady Dame. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. All right. Y'all probably kind of curious with that vague title 16 and 20-year-old. Well, I was in the back chat reading an article and talking with Abena, and we was having a conversation that was dealing with a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old. And okay, so I'm gonna tell you briefly what the situation's about. This is in Hampton, Virginia. Police are searching for a 16-year-old. His name is Zaquan Tyler. He shot a 20-year-old Reagan Chrisley on Berkeley Drive. So police were called. Girl was rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, she died. And Quan got away. Police was mistaken, thought he was hiding out in his house, and they shot tear gas into the house. Yeah. So Avena. So Avena.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So as we was discussing, the situation in the neighborhood that happened.
Right. I remember. Yeah, this is what.
Okay. A lady in the neighborhood who saw the aftermath, she said that she opened her front door and saw that the girl had was arguing, and then she heard a gunshot. A few minutes later, she called 911, and police immediately showed up.
Okay. This is what I don't understand over here. You call 911 whilst you did not go around to check what is happening in the gunshot, whether there is somebody dead or there is somebody being shot, but you just open your door and you check and you call 911 for what? You know 911 when they come immediately, one, it will be maybe an ambulance, or two, it's going to be a police. Fine, you call it, but here is the case that you did not even go out to check. And when the police also were coming, look at what they were do. They bring. They just see this house around the area, the neighbors where the gunshot went on, and you just went in to blow, to bomb a gunshot, boom, 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 just like that, without even doing investigation, without finding out what actually is going on in that moment.
Yeah, he didn't take into account that there might have been other people in the house. There might have been children. There could be a baby. None of that. Didn't follow procedures. Just went straight for let's tear gas the house and smoke them out.
Yeah, you cannot just go around and do such a thing, because let me tell you one thing is that this house belongs for somebody else. Maybe the boy who shot this 20 years young girl, and even the guy was 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
He just shot this 20 years girl. What actually is between the 20 years girl and the 16 years girl before these gunshots came in? Have they find out what actually was happening before this boy shot?
Well, no, they don't seem to know anything about the girl or the boy. What makes me wonder if they even from that neighborhood. Yeah. So 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 it's possible that they don't know because most of the neighbors, the couple of neighbors I've seen, uh, they white, and if it's a neighborhood that's going from white to black, some white people they don't bother trying to get to know their black neighbors or beyond the surface look. And they said that there was increase in violence in the neighborhood. They weren't surprised about that. They were surprised about the ages of the child that did the shooting and the child that got shot. The young woman that got shot.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. This young woman who was shot, I know she is also young. 20 and 16 years is 4 years different.
Hmm.
All of them are young. But let me ask this question over here. This
Hmm.
boy, 16 years, where did he get this gun? That is the one question I'm asking. Where did he get this gun? Two. Two. Did her family or her fathers or her mothers know something about this gun? Did the family have come out to say that okay, we don't know what comes before my son was having a gun, or have they come out to say something like that? And I just want to know because I was thinking that it might be there's a beef between the girl and the boy,
Hmm.
because without the beef, this boy cannot go ahead shooting 20 years old girl without having any problem between the two of them.
Okay.
Before somebody before somebody is gonna shoot or pull a gun out, you might have some problem, or apart from the cops, within we ourselves, before we bring a gun out, we have a problem with someone else. Without that, you can just pull a gun out and shoot.
Okay. All right. You're right. Did these two kids have a beef with each other? There was an argument before the shooting. That's the only thing that's known. Um, where he got the gun from? Did he get it from his parents' house? Nobody knows. The parents never came out uh, um, or said anything. Don't even know who the parents are. All we got is just the name of the boy and the name of the girl. Her parents hadn't come out. We don't know nothing about these two people.
Right. If the
Hmm.
parents are not coming out, why? Okay, now this is the time that the cops have to do their work. They have to do the investigation. They have to do investigation about where they're going to find their father or their mother of the boy, to ask them questions. Where did this guy find a gun, or where did he get a gun from? This is the one question I'm looking for. And
I can
two,
answer that.
what? Okay,
I can answer that.
okay, you can answer.
Hmm. They got these guns. They get these guns off the street from gangs. You see, there's a gang culture in America that largely involves young black boys. This is part of the systematic destruction of the black race. Fatherless children, our children grow up to be mindless murderers of themselves, children, women, and there are guns in the street readily available for them to use. Sometimes the guns are allegedly put there by police. There's been numerous occasions where gun crates were found just sitting on the street in high crime areas of Chicago and Detroit. So the guns are very easy for these young boys to get. They're right there on the street. And the fact that he's 16 years old and he already has his first kill under his belt tells you the type of generation that's coming up. You know, a completely self-destructive generation that's going to carry out mass genocide on black people. That is what you're
Right.
seeing right now. 16 years old and already got his first kill. In the meantime, black men are doing nothing about it. People say, well, what can stop this violence? I tell you what can stop it. Fatherhood. Fathers can put an end to this senseless violence. They can put an end to gangs. My father didn't allow us to be in no daggone gangs. None of us were in gangs. My father wouldn't allow it. Fathers can stop all of this. That's the problem.
Right.
They're not.
Right, because I'm even shocked that even as at now, the father or the mother have not coming out yet to
Mm-hmm.
say who their son is. Because maybe it might be it's not a fault of your son, but it's some people who order or force your son to do that evil thing. Why is it that you not come out to say
Well,
something?
well, 9 times out of 10, the father's supposed to come out and say something because usually guns in the house means the father brought the gun in the house. Now today, a lot of women are strapping up because they have no choice. But usually, the guns usually points to the father. You know, and like I said, we don't have enough good fathers out here, enough responsible fathers. We keep getting kids turning into murderers. He's 16 years old. He's already a murderer. That is the product of failed black fatherhood. He has no guidance. He has no understanding. He has no regard for life. Why else would a 16-year-old pull the trigger and kill a 20-year-old? He has no regard for life. You can't feel anything. You don't feel anything. And I blame this on the fathers for not being in the homes, protecting the minds of their sons, and raising them properly. Hello?
Okay.
Right.
Hello? Why
Okay.
so? What
All
is a
right.
long pause?
Uh, family situation. Okay. Yeah, yeah. As you said, it's usually indication that there's a father, and also that he's careless with where he keep his guns. You know that this 16-year-old was able to get access to it. Mothers are usually a little better because they constantly they um afraid that the children will get into the guns. You
Uh-huh.
know. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, but the fact that nobody said anything, I mean, I don't know if they not investigate, but we know the police all they're interested in is catching Sawan Taylor. They're not going to try to find out who his parents are, see how they got the gun, or even to see if they know where he will most likely hide, and what how does he know this Chrisley girl and stuff like that. Is there something
See,
going
I'm
on? They
more
have some
concerned.
history. Hmm.
See, I'm more concerned. Now, I don't want to sound cold-blooded, like I don't care about this young lady who lost her life. I most certainly do. But we're not going to fix the problem by locking up Saquon and young boys like him because locking them up is not going to stop it. It's just going to increase the violence. Okay, because these young boys have a mentality that you get street credibility when you take a life, especially the life of a woman. And this is all part of pimp culture and this overall hatred that's being perpetuated by black men towards black women. See, it trickles all the way down to the young boys. The young boys get the memo that a black girl's life is insignificant. And so now it becomes like a trophy or a pelt or a notch in your belt to take out a black girl or a black woman to get some stripes or a tear on your eye for your gang, for your homies. If you don't believe me,
Mm-hmm.
if that sounds too far fetched to y'all, let me direct you to a particular podcast we did a couple of weeks ago about a young baby girl who got shot in a car at McDonald's with her father in the car. He was a part of a gang. When he did the video, what did he say? I will die for my homies. I will not die for my baby girl. So what is that telling you? The life of a female is insignificant on the street. Even so insignificant that it's only valuable to get street cred or to get promoted within your gang circle. If you kill girls, black girls, you get promoted to Dawu or something. Gang leader. And this has come about because of the perpetuation of hatred from black men towards black women. And the absentee fathers who just refuse to be in their sons' lives at all and allow their sons to be raised in the street like animals.
Right.
That's what culture this 16-year-old comes from. That's why he gets so nonchalantly, not giving a damn whatsoever, and pull the trigger and takes this girl's life because her life means nothing to him.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way he's programmed now.
Yeah, but we cannot be talking about that one alone. You see, something particular might be in this issue. Something particular might be in this issue because when I was reading the articles, it's like, okay, now one, there was a 33 years man, that was 33 years, someone who was living in the wood for a long time, and you hear a gunshot. Even you saw the girl running away before you heard a gunshot in a minute ago. Why don't you go around? You see, for my problem is that he firstly called the cops or he called 911 before 911 came, and he wasn't even going out to check what is going on because he knows that wasn't belongs to his family member, that wasn't belongs to his maybe his siblings. You have to go out and
Hmm.
check
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing, though, right?
what
What you're
happens in
talking.
your area or your wood.
Hold on, Abby. Let me interrupt you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What you're saying doesn't fit in present day time. What you're saying fits back in the old school, the 70s, the 60s. Black people would do things like that back then because they wasn't as fearful and they wasn't afraid of their kids. And so, yes, they would go and check. They would go do these things. But today, that's not plausible. Too many people fear for their lives. They don't want to get involved. The streets are too dangerous. No one is going to check anything. As a matter of fact, when they hear gunshots, they're going in the house. They're not even looking over their shoulder. They're not going to do anything. Their
Okay.
safety, their own safety is their priority.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, wait. Before y'all go any further, there's a misunderstanding. The neighbor that went looked out and called the police, they're white. The two neighbors that called the police, they're white.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
not.
care if they're white or black or green or yellow.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality is still the same.
Uh-huh.
White people are not doing it today either.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Back in the day, white people would do it,
Mm-hmm.
but the streets have become so dangerous, even for them, they're not getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
No one is doing that anymore. No one wants to die. The streets are just too dangerous. There are too many crazy ass kids out here with guns, and nobody wants to get shot. And the police can't stop them all, and especially if they're black, the police really ain't trying to stop them. In many of these cities, the police encourage these boys to kill each other and to terrorize the neighborhood. How do you think gun crates mysteriously end up in the neighborhood in the middle of the street where there are young boys playing outside their schools?
Right.
They want these young boys to get a hold of these guns. Okay? So there are no fathers to speak of. You can only do this and be successful at it if the environment doesn't have any strong male leadership, such as fathers, which many of our communities do not have. There is no strong male leadership in many of our communities, so you can get away with these kinds of um, tactics. You can get away with it. That's exactly what's happening.
Right. Well, you see, this is something that I would say something a little bit about Africa. It's difficult for us to get a gun. Seriously,
Uh-huh.
because I wonder these 16 years boys get a gun and go and shoot.
Well,
Oh, wow.
well, you have to understand, right? Africa isn't ruled for the most part by bloodthirsty savages who don't care anything about life. Africa still have people who care about life. You understand? Africa is probably one of the most healthiest continents to live on in the whole world. You still have people, for the most part, that control Africa. They give a damn about life.
Right.
This country is different. The savages that run this country could give a two shakes of a cat's ass about somebody's life. They don't even care about their own. Because if shit don't go right, they'll take their own life in an instant. So they don't give a
But
damn about their own lives either.
right. But you see, one
Okay?
thing that we have to understand now is that when we are not caring about life, even though in America, now we the American brothers and sisters, we have to teach our children how to live some kind of African lifestyle because I know the cops are triggering to kill the blacks. That is why the blacks always have the gun on them. But you have to know how you keep your gun from your children. You have to know how to teach your children how not to use the gun when they are not 18
No.
years.
Right. And I hear what you're saying, right? Again, those teachings that you're talking about, that's good stuff, but it's in the wrong time. That's what fathers taught their children back in the day. They taught their children how to handle guns. They taught their children the respect for guns. That guns weren't toys. We had education. My father had rifles. Okay, he had rifles and shotguns. He taught us all about the guns and how to respect the guns and to stay away from the guns that they weren't toys. And he never ever wanted us to play with these guns. And he would go
Right.
out and teach us how to shoot, how to handle these guns. Okay? And so because of that education, nobody in the house ever got shot. Nobody in the house ever got caught playing with a gun and accidentally killed somebody. Because we
Because
had the
there's a man in the
education,
house.
right? And we had the education from our father about guns, right? But that's old school. That doesn't happen anymore. The fathers are too sissified. They don't teach their kids anything. They scared to death of these boys because they've left them out in the street too long, and now they've grown into monsters, and they are afraid of them. They are afraid to approach them. They are afraid to reel them in. They
Right.
okay. They're afraid of what they've become.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be afraid to let our boys know what actually they need to do, because you see, I wonder about this boy, 16 years boy, who needs to suppose to get this kind of mentality, which he is going to use it in our black communities area, in our black
Right,
neighbors.
right.
But now we have this
Oh,
boy having the mentality of killing.
yeah, but if you want to see where it comes from, okay, that's easy. I can tell you exactly where it comes from. It comes from the manosphere. It comes from the sissy bims. It comes from the red pillars, black pillars, all these damn phony ass factions, these fake Moors, conscious community. That's where the mentality comes from. Just go and listen to the Kevin Samuels and the Tommy Sotomayor's and all these people. Listen to these people, and you can hear the hatred for black women. It's open season on black women. You can hear them devalue the life of black women. They tell these young boys not to care. They call black women hoes. They don't even have the wherewithal and respect to even address a black woman as a natural woman. They call her a hoe. They call her a strag. They call her a bee. They call her everything but a woman. And this is the programming that these young boys get. And they get this programming into their mind, and then they encourage these boys, right, to act violently against these women by telling them stories about how their mother abused them, how they hate their mothers. Rebel against your mothers. Rebel against your sisters. Don't give them an out. Don't give them a chance. Don't this, don't that. If they do this, you do that. So these young boys get all of this poison in their head, and they go out and they start to react towards black women, and the results are often fatal.
Right. That's the problem we are having as a black man, that they've been polluting the young boys' mind, they've been polluting all the nation. You see, that's the problem that we need to fix it. Because you Kevin Sam teaching this young boy how to murdering, how to killing,
Hello?
All right. Um, you know the network over there is a little shaky. Let's give
Right, but like I was saying,
mhm,
so, when you have a contingent of men that's constantly devaluing the lives of our women, this gets trickled down to our youth who look up to these men,
mhm,
these so-called men. I mean, look at Ron, whatever his name is, 32 years old, and
uh-huh.
idolize these men.
Right.
Think guys like Kevin Samuels is a hero. Guys like Obsidian. They think these guys who hate black women are heroes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I blame his father. I know his father
Yeah, I
died, but
blame
he
all
had
the
20 years with his father, and yet
I
he
blame
idolized
all
men
the
like that.
fathers.
Hmm.
I blame all the fathers. The fathers are 100% to blame for the mentality of these young boys. Black men are to blame, period, for the mentality of these young boys. Anybody want to challenge me on that? You're free to take the you're free to take the link and come on up here and we can go at it.
Yeah, here's
Ain't
the
no
link.
woman Ain't no black woman got nothing to do with how the mentality of these boys are being shaped. This is
Mm-hmm.
all on black men. You don't see black women with hate groups, okay, trying to program boys to hate girls. You don't see black women doing that. You don't see black women with hate groups trying to program little girls to go out and kill their fathers. You
Mm-hmm.
only see these male hate groups that are pushing all of this hatred and encouraging violence against black women and children. You don't see black women with child support hate groups.
Well, and they should because they're not receiving the child support. They have to fight tooth and nail for the Negro that helped create this child to feed the child. They should be the one to have a child support hate group.
Like I said, this is all on black men. I don't want to hear shit. Don't come up here with no cowardly shit about, well, the mother. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm not the one. You take that shit elsewhere. It don't fly here.
Mm-hmm.
You step to me like a man.
Yeah. But
I'm
then,
going to hold you accountable.
mm,
I'm going to put the truth in your face. It's your fault. And I can prove it. All you got is excuses. I got truth on my side. This culture, this murderous culture of our youth is created by black men, fueled by the hatred that black men have for black women, taught to the youth by hateful, bitter old broken men, black men.
okay. Abana, I see you back. We
Sorry,
didn't want to hear what she had said. That's okay.
sorry, I dropped off. I was saying, I actually was saying that look at what Kevin Sam was teaching these young boys that they are coming. We have a 16-year boy now know how to shoot and kill. What do you know this boy is going to do? He's going to teach the young boys that he been playing with them, he been going to school with them, he been learning with them, teach them how to be with a gun, how to murder. You see, we have to understand that these young boys knew nothing, and we have to put the mentality, the knowledge in their head because the children are following us. They are learning whatever we are doing, whether it's good or bad. They are learning from us.
No, don't say us. The boys are learning from the men.
Right. The boys are learning from the men. Sorry to say that.
And the men are hateful, they're broken, they're hateful, they're bitter.
Right. Let's go back to what we were saying about this article. Let's go back.
All right.
What the mother is saying, the girl's mother, what actually saying.
Um, there's no mother came forward about the girl that passed away.
So what are they trying to say? Do they love their children? Do they care? Is the girl a
Well,
white
well,
girl or a black girl?
well, Abby, I hate to break the news to you, right? In America, they don't teach love for the children. Everything is about exploiting a person over here. Okay, I remember when a girl, a white girl named Casey Anthony, blatantly murdered her baby, right?
Right. Okay.
And she got turned into a celebrity. So life
Oh,
over here, yeah, life over here doesn't mean the same as it does in your country. Over here, you have to pay to be healthy. You know, over here, they get you hooked on pharmaceutical drugs and things of that nature. This is all about addiction. It's all about being unhealthy. It's all about money over here. They don't teach or encourage the love of children. As a matter of fact, they're trying to turn the children into young prostitutes. The younger, the better. You got a group over here called Mambla, right? Which are a group of white men who have sex with boys. And they are an absolute legitimate group. So these are the things you got going on over here. They don't teach the love of children. Matter of fact, they try to destroy children over here. Look at the way the cops shoot our children on sight. They don't have no love for our children. And then you got black men on top of that, don't have love for our children either. You got black men doing the same thing the cops doing. They shooting our children on sight, blowing our kids away. Got black men doing the same thing the white cops are doing.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad that,
Yeah.
our own ain't
right.
protecting our own.
Yeah.
And then this is why I'm so angry and so fed up with niggers and have absolutely no sympathy for niggers. I have nothing but a disdain because you're doing all of this and you got the nerve to sit up here and come up somewhere talking about what the women are doing and that you blame them. You got the nerve to blame the women. This is your fault. You've allowed all this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're too afraid
Right. But they
to
don't
do
want to
something.
accept their mistake.
Right. And you're too afraid to face the monsters that you created. That's why you won't do anything about it. You're too cowardly. You don't want to face these young boys. They've grown into monsters because of you.
Yeah. 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 But no, they don't want to see their responsibility on that. No, they gonna hide and run from the fact because them boys have a right to be angry, but not at their mothers like you've been training them to and filling their heads with
Well,
the parent that's there.
I told you before the reason why that is because that's the men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Redirecting their anger because they don't want that anger being taken out on them.
Mm-hmm.
You think that these niggas don't know that they have abandoned these kids
Mm-hmm.
and that these kids done turned into monsters? They know that. They just don't want the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So they pushing that smoke onto the black woman. They know that these kids are animals and don't have any problem pulling off a mindless killing. So they direct that towards black women.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, they have. Yeah.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
something? Let's go back to the article. Then start reading the article. Let's read here from what is going on, what is happening, and then we can discuss about this because these articles make me crazy, and I don't understand why we need to do these things to our children, our boys, especially why the men don't want to teach the boys what to do.
Okay. So okay, the police found the victim, which is Reagan Chrisley. They found her near a house that was being barricaded by SWAT, who later realized it was empty. Okay, so officers said the 16-year-old Zaquan Taylor shot and killed 20-year-old Reagan Chrisley Tuesday night on Berkeley Drive. So this was like 6 o'clock in the evening. One of the neighbors, Betty Barefoot, says she witnessed the aftermath. She lived in the neighborhood for 33 years. She said she was home just before 6 p.m. when she heard a gunshot and called 911. She said, I opened my front door, looked down, saw the girls arguing. She said, girls. And then I heard a gunshot. A few minutes later, I called 911 and the officer immediately showed up. Yeah. I walked across the street, looked down the street, and you can see one of the police doing CPR on the girl, and the ambulance came. They put her in the ambulance, and two police cars just flying behind them, getting her to the hospital. The police said they found the victim lying on the street. The medic took her to the hospital where she died. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you see what I'm going to ask here is that did the two of them, the girl and the boy, did they
Mhm.
live in their neighbors? Do they live in the same place where the incidents happen, or they are not from that neighborhood?
Well, it
Because one,
appears that.
if they are from the neighbors, then they have to know what is going on. But if they're not from the neighbor, then that means there's nothing that the neighbors is going to know about it. Because they might
Mhm,
have their own issue before bringing it to the neighbors. Would.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. Well, it don't appear that they knew them. They said the girl arguing. They didn't say Reagan was arguing um, with someone. And in fact, they wasn't certain. They thought Zaquan was a girl. She said girl. She saw the girls arguing, so she couldn't immediately identify that Zaquan was a boy.
Okay, so that means is it that there's a problem with maybe two girls fighting maybe one boy? Or this is I don't understand that particular place because if you said you saw two girls quarreling, why is it that you don't go there and check whether they are girls or not, whether they are three girls or not?
Well, she didn't. Okay, she said she saw the girls plural arguing, and then I heard a gunshot. And a few minutes later, she called 911. Gunshot. She wasn't about to go out there. Um, she's an older white woman, so she was just gonna call the police automatically, let them handle it. But she claimed she walked across the street and looked down the street. She could see the police doing CPR. So, after the police showed up, she went and started performing CPR. She did not go out there. Yeah, she probably felt she did her duty calling 911, and
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I
So,
get it because
mhm,
this case is being like I get it because this case is making me crazy over here now.
mhm.
Because okay, if there's you saw the girl quarreling, you did not even call the girl. Hey girl, come here. Let me ask you a question. What is going on between you and that person? Then you could have known, but you did not. And then you said you just hear a gunshot. Okay, fine. The gunshot just came. But my problem in that gunshot is that My problem in that gunshot is that when the gunshot just happened and they call the 911, when they come out, Instead of you coming to save, coming to arrest the person who caused that incident, you are rather going to cause all the neighborhood with a tear gas, because you know a tear gas, the moment you put a tear gas, even the smoke alone is going to attach some people, and some people also can go to lose their life attached to this girl own. Because now you, the cops, they are there to save the life. So why is it that you sending a tear gas at that moment? You don't need any tear gas in that case, because you need to do investigation before you pull out your tear gas to kill enough of people over around that neighborhood. Because you know that neighborhood is a black community, or is it a black neighborhood? If it is, then that means you want to kill all of them in that neighborhood, because you cannot trigger and bring a gun or a tear gas around.
It's 12 o'clock p.m.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, people are very jumpy. And, there's a shooting. There's some kids involved. Um, they're not that quick to go out and and investigate, especially when there's a shooting involved. Shoots. Some of them don't even pay attention when there's an argument between kids. They don't even do something as simple. Hey, what's going on? Why are you arguing? You know, we'll see several news reports, and they're here where they were arguing, and a little later there was a gunshot. Never once thought, hey, these are kids, they're arguing. Maybe you should see what's going on. Help them settle it. At least break up the argument. That maybe you can get them to calm down. No, there's no thought of that. And these are people in the neighborhood. They have
Right.
to have known the people, but in this case, they don't know. They don't seem to know. They didn't call them by names. They didn't call. They didn't say that Taylor boy, that Zach one, or that Zach boy. They didn't say that Reagan girl, that Chrisley girl, or so and so's grandchild, or so and so's child, this or that. No, these don't sound like they knew who they were. So, which means they're even less likely to go down to find out what's going on. You know,
Right.
hmm
Yeah, I
they.
know that, but if
Mhm.
you know who they was, and you quickly going there to check and without finding out, you don't need to pull out a tear gas. Because you see something that I want to know about this tear gas issue that they pull out. Okay, now are they going to sorry, I'm trip over here. Please then go now. Since I'm trip.
Okay, the tear gas thing. That just tell me that the police officer lazy. That this is a black community, and are becoming black community, and they just went for the easiest thing. They didn't case the house to see if there was anybody there or anybody else there. They
Okay.
had no care for the other lives in there, so they just shot
This
the tear gas and go gun for the first person to come out.
right. You see the place I have a problem. That you want to be a lazy, and you know because it's a black community, so you just want to go in there and shout that building or that house. See, when we have maybe a bunch of people in that house, you could have end their lives, all because you did not want to be a good person. You want to be a lazy worker. You don't want to improve what you've been paying for, because they've been paying you to take care of the country, to take care of the communities, to take care of those things. That's why when the incident happens, they just quickly call you to come over and come and handle the issue, because the neighbors cannot handle it. That's why they're calling you the cops. You, the cops, also came to kill the people, even they cause you to came to save their life. You are rather killing them. Because I was thinking, what if there's a little baby in the house alone, without the mother, without the father, and they die in that house, and you shoot this tear gas inside that house? What do you think you are doing to that baby? You ending their life, and you said you are there to save because you be lazy cops. Why as we been doing such a thing to ourselves? I know the cops might be a white cops, but I don't care whether you're a white cops or you are not. You are supposed to do the work under what they have authorized you or what they have told you to do. You cannot hold a tear gas when they tell you came to just come and see what is happening in our community or in our wood. You bring the tear gas to fire everybody around. It doesn't sound well to us.
Yeah. Yeah. You use tear gas when you have a house full of people with guns that are about to have a shootout or they're holding hostages, and you even don't do it with hostages. You did not. They had it, so they used it. Um, I don't know if they think they in a military thing or whatever, but it's like we have the tear gas. Let's use it. Let's flush them out. Not
Yeah,
caring
because
about if there's anybody else in there.
right, I know tear gas being using when there's a war, when there's a fight around, and you want to stop that fight. That is where you use a tear gas to separate the people from fighting, to separate the people who want to make the war or who want to create the war. But not just somebody being shot by a gun, you fire a tear gas. Oh, nah, man. Huh. This has been going on too muchly in the black communities too muchly. Why? Because we are blacks? You just want to finish us? Oh, nah, man. It cannot be possible that we're going to allow ourselves to be finished up our children and our women. Another guy is a 16 years guy who is a black person, but we need to also talk about this cops issue, that the cops came over to even to do what more than what the guy did, because now we don't know what happened when this guy just threw the gun and shot. We don't know whether it's a fight or there's a beef or there's a problem between them, or this guy is having a mental problem. We don't even know. But you, the cops, also, what problem is with you? There's no problem with you, so why are you triggering to shoot a tear gas in that house?
Yeah, yeah. This is lazy police work. Police are afraid of getting shot. Police are afraid of doing their job. You know you have a dangerous job and that there's a chance you get shot at. I could have understood if you was in full gear to keep from getting shot and you case the house, you go into the house and stuff like that. But the tear gas, that's overkill. That's too much and unnecessary. But no, did y'all even follow police procedure and case out the house? Look front and back in case he gets out through the back or through a window or whatever. Did y'all do anything, or did y'all, as the neighbors saw, just shoot tear gas in the house? Did y'all even see if there was anybody in there? Did you ask the neighbors? It does who lives there? How many people is likely to be there? Or even if they were home? Did you
Right,
see any evidence that he broke in? Did you ask that he? You said he's in there. Did you see him just go in, or did he break in?
right.
No questions. How did they
You
know
don't
that
want
he
to
was?
ask any question. You just
Yeah.
want to program.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 And who told
Because
them that he was in there?
Right. If they did not do investigation and if they did not ask question, why? Who told them that this boy was in that room or was in that house? You see, I tell you, there's something particular problem will be under this issue. There will be something specific that they don't want to bring out or they don't want us to know. That's why they're doing the case on and off, because why did the police or the cops find out this guy was in that house?
Mm-hmm.
They might ask somebody in their neighborhood, or they might ask somebody in that community, say, oh, which person lives here? Are you sure this boy was in this house? And definitely there might be somebody giving that a point or that answer to them that, oh yeah, we saw the boy jump into the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay, but how did they identify Zaquan Taylor? You know, and so something is missing. And Reagan Chrisley, how did they identify who they were? If the neighbors didn't know who they were, how did they know who they were? Is there a person of interest? Does one of them or both of them have a record? What's going on? You know, but yeah, but the main thing is police not following procedures. They could have did some serious harm to the family that living in there, and then who lives there if they were in there at that time. Um, and then it would have been, oh, he wasn't there. We mistaking your house for the house where he was at. You know, yeah. I can understand the urgency and the rush for the police officers that was working on the girl, but you should have did your police work. Why were y'all jumping the gun? Were y'all so in a hurry to shoot and kill somebody that you jumped to this big tear gas thing, saying that the 16-year-old was armed and he was extremely dangerous, and y'all was in fear for your lives? Was that what's about to go? The scenario? And how did y'all know he not left? He might have went to the house, in the house, but he didn't stay there. Was there enough time for him to get out? Did you even see if there was evidence that he crawled out a window, went out the back door, anything?
Right, right. Then let's go on. Let's go on. Start reading again. I want some places that I want to be fire on there, because see, this case is making me crazy over here now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So okay. So they doing CPR. Met her, took her to the hospital where she died. According to the police, officer heard someone with a gun. They heard someone with a gun ran into a neighboring home, so SWAT team surrounded it before eventually realizing the home was empty. Barefoot said she and other neighbors witnessed officer firing tear gas canisters into the house. Did they even get into position to see if anybody came out the back door, the windows, or whatever? Okay.
Right. You have to check. We have to check whether somebody came out from that house before you. If you're going to trigger, you trigger. You did not check and you just bomb, boom. Why?
Mhm.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, they did minimum. They said the neighbor said Miss Betty Barefoot. She said this is the Hampton Police Division. Come out with your hands up. That's what they heard. She said I was a little frightened. Shows that she never heard that in her neighborhood before. To find out that the shooter was 16-year-old, that was surprising. She had to find out that the shooter was 16-year-old. She lived in this neighborhood for 33 years. She obviously didn't know, or she didn't see the shooter. The
Right.
neighbor said, The neighbors said that there's been crime in the area, so they're not shocked by the violence. But the age of the victim and the suspect is unexpected. They were not expecting the victim to be a young 20-year-old girl or a 16-year-old boy. That surprised them.
Right, because this
So,
this is this abnormal is very surprised, because I'm wondering why this 16 years boy shooting 20 years ago, what actually is within them. I know somebody can be under this issue or this problem, somebody can be under, we went, which send the boy will go and trigger this girl because she might be my girlfriend and she's doing nasty thing with me. I know that somebody can be behind this case. Someone, if they are doing investigation, correct investigation, they're going to find out which actually brings this incident.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So it's not like he was a neighbor. Even if they didn't know his name, they would have said, "Okay, yeah, that boy. I saw. I'm not surprised that he would do this, or I'm surprised he do this because he didn't seem like a young man who's capable of doing it. They don't know him. They don't know her. You know, so either
So
these neighbors did not know them or they didn't care to know who they were.
so that means the neighbors, sorry, so that means the neighbors people don't even know the boy and then the girl.
Mhm.
That means they don't know them. So they are new people in that area on that wood. They are new people, and yes, because I'm wondering that if the neighbors knew them, they could have knew much story about these two, about the boy and the girl. But because they don't know them, and it could be the neighbors could be an old people, and they cannot go out to check on these children who they've been playing all the time. Because I know when the neighbors, they are old people and old stuffs, people don't come out. All of them are in the house, all of them are in the room most of the time. They don't come out to play. Only the young people play around. So assuming maybe this young boy and this girl was in that area for maybe just a few months, they could have knew nothing about them. They're not going to know any story about them. So their parents bring voice out their children's or their child story out.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if the parents even know. Or they probably know now that the news is going out. But but I because you know they might not be from around there. Or they so new around there the neighbors don't know who they are. Mm-hmm.
Right,
So
because
we're not going to know anything
it's very
more beyond
ridiculous.
this right now.
Go
Okay, well,
ahead,
Pastor.
let's finish reading and see what happens next.
Okay, okay, another man. His name is Glenn West. Who works in the area. Here you are. You got two people, young. One lost their life. The other's running for their life, trying to escape the police. West said 16-year-old, and now they'll end up 16 years old, and now they'll end up going to prison or something, and the rest of their life is ruined. The boy Tyler is facing charges of murder, possession of a firearm by a juvenile, and the use of a firearm in the commission of a felon. Mm-hmm.
Right,
So
because now the boys being tagged about murdering someone. Now everybody is looking for you. They have their pictures. They have your picture on social media. They have your picture in maybe your area that you stay. Now you're gonna have a bad name. If even though they did not find you, your name is gonna be all the time be mentioned on everywhere on social media because they never find you yet. And they are looking for you. You see, I'm very worried about this issue or this incident that happened. I'm very worried because we're losing
Mm-hmm.
these black children. We are losing black youths that they are coming because they are the future. They are the people who are going to build these black communities. And now look at what is being sold into them. Look at what's being put into them. Look
Yeah.
at this. I don't know whether the girl is a white girl or it's a black girl. But now, if the girl is a black girl, now we have lose a black woman. Now we have lose a black woman. And two, we have lose a black boy now, which is joining the manosphere, joining the CCBN, joining the gay people. Because definitely, when you know how to shoot gun, that means you're going to join the manosphere people. You have nothing good for you to talk about. You are going to talk things that which is not correct in your life. You are going to show the children badly things for them to learn because you in your beginning you did not have any good thing to start with. You start with a murdering case. You start with killing people. You start knowing how to shoot gun. You did not start to learn how to love, how to care for your black women. Because when you care and you love, I tell you, if this girl have done something wrong to you, you could have triggered and shoot this girl. Because you may remember that this girl is like your mother. This girl is like your mama who gave you birth to you. So can you shoot your mama and kill your mama? No. You cannot shoot your mother. You're gonna save your mother. So it's the same thing you're gonna do for this girl. But because you don't have the love in you, you've been listening to manosphere men people. You've been listening to people who don't teach you what to do as a black boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They have a superficial, stereotypical, and not even unrealistic idea of what it means to be a man. You know, a man just doesn't grab a gun and shoot people. A man's used the gun to defend himself, his family, his children, his woman, his property. This boy had none of this. He's at the beginning, very, very basic beginning, not even adult yet. He's trying to learn to be an adult. He's trying to learn to be a man. There's no man
Right.
there to teach him that,
Right.
or the man that's there is not teaching him, or not, or not, you know, being the father he needs. More often than not, it's the father's not there and hasn't taught him how to control. He get into an argument and he end up killing the person he's arguing with. That shows he's still a child. He's arguing with a woman. He's arguing because he thinks he's grown, not to tell him what to do. 16-year-olds, they be feeling themselves. Shooks, they be feeling themselves at 14, 15, 16. But don't have the control yet of a man control his temper. Don't let your anger have you do something stupid. This was stupid. Mm-hmm. Guns are serious business. They're not to be played with. They're not to be brandished around. If you have a gun, you point it at somebody. You saying that you want to kill them. You don't want to frighten them. You don't want them to back off. You want to kill them. Because that's what's
Right.
going to happen. Not everybody
Right.
responds to a gun the same way. Some people don't back off. Some people can't be frightened by a gun. So
Right. Because I know we have a lot of people because I know we have a lot of people who use gun in America differently. I know they have a gun, but because they've been teaching their children how to use gun, they don't teach them to use the gun anyhow. They knew their father or their mother is having a gun in around the house, but they protect their guns from their children because they knew the children that they are with, and they teach them the right path they have to be on. They don't tell them, "Hey boy, take the gun. When anybody do you something, shoot." No, they teach them, "This is the gun. This is what being used for. We use it for this and this." So these children are able to understand the difference.
yeah,
Should I say this boy? Father has trained him very well to be a man. He trained him to be, it's manosphere man because the father himself might be a manosphere man. Where are the fathers? Now we're losing the boys. Where are they? Why are they not coming to save us, the fathers? Why are they? I don't know who this boy live with, whether it's with his mother alone or not. I don't care. All I do is the father. Where are they?
yeah. Why are you not stepping forward and coming to try to protect your son? He made a mistake. You didn't teach him right. Step forward, and try to save your son from the police. Because if he's running around with the gun, all they're going to think of is that he's armed, he has a gun, that give them excuse to shoot him.
Right.
Hmm.
Right, because now he know how to shoot already, and now we don't know what happens to this girl before shooting. You, the father, instead of you to come out and say, "Hey, that boy is my son. I want to report myself to the police to save your son." But because who knows, the father might be the one who sent his son. Who knows? No one knows because the father himself are not trying to do what a father needs to do. They're not trying to do. And this father is going to come out to blame the mother for it.
Well, you hear how the man of spirit talk. Now, their son made a mistake. They ain't gonna even claim him. If his
Let me
father's
tell
a
you where.
good man, it ain't gonna happen.
Let me tell you where the fathers are. The fathers are out here super swirling. They're on social media blaming black women for everything, not taking accountability for anything. They're like Trick Daddy, making stupid ass videos talking about black women need to get their act together before somebody come along and steal black men, which I don't know who the hell is that going to be. And then they are chasing other men for sexual relations. They're being led by homosexuals. That's where the fathers are. That's why these boys are crazy. They have no guidance, no male influence. They're confused about their sexuality. They don't understand manhood. Hell, they don't even know what being a male is all about. But that's where the fathers are. Out here super swirling, arguing on social media like girls, fighting girls, not taking any kind of responsibility whatsoever, being as irresponsible as a 12 or 13-year-old child, wanting the black woman to do everything, blaming the black woman for everything. Don't want to take care of the kids at all. That's where the fathers are.
All right. Good to have you back, Max. Yeah. So We're not going to hear anything for a moment. If the police start doing an investigation, we might find out who the parents are of both the children. If they actually lived in that neighborhood, you know, and why were they there? Were they
Right.
walking through and just had an argument right then and there? What? What's the connection between the two? Are they, hmm Because nobody. Well, I'm saying that wrong. People don't normally just get in an argument and shoot, but nowadays people are letting their emotions control them and run rampant. You know, get so angry you just pull it pull the trigger.
Right.
hmm Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they got a number I can call.
Huh?
Okay.
Got you, bro. You thought I forgot about you? Come on, man. You ain't gonna do me like
All right, everybody. Max is working. So um, as I was saying, used to be men taught these boys how to handle guns and didn't let them handle guns until they were emotionally right. They knew all the aspects of the gun, and that what it was really meant for, whether it was hunting for the food, or was it to protect the family? Yeah, they would tell you don't pull a gun out on anybody unless you plan on shooting. And understand
Right.
that guns were meant is a weapon to kill. You don't pull it out just because you have an argument. You could be in danger when you pull a gun out to shoot. Not because you're mad at somebody, not because you don't like what they say. The excuses they made me angry. I didn't think of the shot. That don't play. And so they because of this gun, they gonna treat him like he's an adult. This boy is not gonna be treated like a child that made a mistake and he had a dangerous weapon with him when he lost control or that he made a mistake. He ain't gonna even be treated like a teen that's a murderer. He's gonna be treated like an adult. He's gonna be in an adult facility. This is the way the white people. Okay, this is the way they see us. This is the way they see us. They
Oh yeah, but
our
you know
children
something.
are never children.
Right. But you know something, we are not learning anything from the white people. We are doing our own thing as a black people. So why is it that we don't want to fix ourselves? We don't want to fix the boys. Because if we are blacks, what we supposed to do to fix our boys? Because they are the people who are going to build a future for us. Now we have nothing to build, but the children, the boys that they are coming, they are the one who are going to build the future for us. They are the one who are going to build our community for us. So when we cannot fix them and make them as a man or as a boy or as a king, what are they going to do for us? We're going to find them killing each other, killing their brothers, killing their sisters, killing their women, and even their children for it.
Well, like
Because
I
we have
said, they
not
get this influence. Like I said, this influence comes from. See, well, we have to understand that, Bina, right? The boys need leadership. Not so
right,
much the girls, the boys. The boys desperately need leadership. It's important that boys get proper leadership, or it can be extremely dangerous if they have no guidance and no leadership. As you can see, the results of no guidance and no leadership, what they turn into: homicidal maniacs, lunatics, killers, animals, monsters. That's why it's so damn dangerous for them to grow up without proper male guidance. This doesn't affect the girls the same, but it hits boys extremely hard because boys depend on their fathers for nearly 99% of their identity. Only 1% of that is information that they get from their mothers. 99% comes from the father. So when the father isn't there, this is devastating to the development of a young boy and can prove absolutely catastrophic because the boy can turn easily into a monster with no guidance and no leadership. And so these boys, they're in the street looking for a father. If a boy doesn't have a father in the house, he's going to look for a father anywhere he can get one. If this going the street, he's going to find a father in the street. That father can be a pimp, it could be a hustler, it could be another murderer, it could be a pedophile, but he's going to find a father somewhere. And that's the problem. The fathers that they have don't take care of them and don't teach them. The fathers that they find teach them plenty. They just teach them the wrong things.
Right.
Okay, there's too much pausing, y'all.
I'm
Come on,
sorry.
we gotta wake up.
Okay, no, it's not sleep. It's family. They don't have no jurisdiction, understanding, and even though when I'm telling them, please be quiet, they still.
Okay, we don't want to talk about your personal business on air, Dan.
Okay, all right. Okay, so as I would, yeah.
Yeah, right. You see, I know that these boys need a leadership. The leadership that they need is that the men have to be around with these children because the women are always there for their children, for the women. But where is the boys? The boys, the fathers don't want to be around with the boys to teach them what they're supposed to learn. So that's the problem we are facing now. Because now these boys knew nothing. And whatever they're going to learn from us, we are teaching them the wrong thing. We have brothers on social media try to teach these boys how to be simp, how to be manosphere people, brothers,
Mhm.
teaching these young boys. So do you think if this young boy, 16-year boy, is listening to it, what is he going to do? He's going to act towards that thought you've been teaching them. He's going to perform what actually you put in them, what
Mhm.
actually you plot in them, because they are learning from you.
Yeah.
They are learning from you, and we cannot be sitting down like this as a black people losing our children all the time.
Mhm.
Because now these children being harmed. We have these children being spoiled totally because of the fathers who don't want to be fathers to their children.
Mhm.
This boy, this young 16 boy, if he could have a father who been a good father in the 60s or in the 70s, and his father being 70s father, he's gonna teach him how to do a good thing, how to behave. Because now this boy is a young boy. He's not even 18 years. He's gonna learn something from there. But yeah, where's the father? The father did not teach her anything. So now, who knows if this boy went and joined some gang, some group, and they were teaching this boy how to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he don't have any beef with a girl, but he just saw the girl. He said, okay, they be teaching me how to shoot. Let me try with this girl. Let me try with this girl. And then he just shoot the girl to kill her. Maybe he don't know that he's shooting her to kill, but he thought, I'm trying the gun to know that I know how to shoot very well. You understand? Because of what we've been not teaching our children in the house. Because we don't let our children come closer to the fathers. Fathers, you have to understand that let your children come closer to you. Be with them always. Teach them.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know you are the father for the house. You are the man for the house. You are the head. Without you, it cannot be okay for them. So let them know. But don't leave them that way.
See the problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the problem I have is this here, right? Instead of having black men get together and improve and find a way to catch up with black women so we can be some kind of equal force together, all right?
Right.
We got black men working against the best interests of their own people. See, when you harm your women, you don't protect your women, you hurt your entire race. Your entire race. Without a woman, a race can't even exist. And what you guys seem to think that you seem to think that you're some kind of a prize that you can run around here, swing your penis anywhere, and you're gonna be good. Nah, it don't work that way because that's just self genocide. You see, while you swinging your penis into non-black women, you're not creating black men. You're creating another race of men that have two kinds of
Right.
consciousnesses. You're creating a being with two different types of conscience or two different types of consciousness. One side of that consciousness may not necessarily be loyal to you. And there's a good chance that that side of the consciousness can overwhelm the other side that's supposed to be loyal to you.
Right.
So you don't even know what you're doing. You're screwing with genetics when you're just swinging your penis anywhere with non-black women. So you're not creating black men. You can only create black men and black girls with black women. Black men and black women, black woman. It's very simplistic. And you see, and the biggest problem I have, right? We think that this is some kind of rocket science, super intellectual, evolutionary to the 50th power out in the stratosphere solution. So you bubble brains who did nothing but stick your nose in books for 40 years and turned it to some kind of boring talking head, it gives you something to talk about. But it's a very simplistic, I hate to tell you, it's a very simplistic solution. There's nothing rocket science about it. There's nothing earth shattering about it. There's nothing overly intellectual about it. It's very simplistic. Black men need to take care of their children. Black men need to guide, especially their young boys. Black men need to hold themselves accountable. Black men need to be responsible. Black men need to grow the fuck up. Black men need to be decent husbands, honorable fathers, men of integrity. You see how simplistic all that sound? It's not overly intellectual. It's not the missing link. It's not some super science that you've seen in science fiction movies. It's very simple. The black man needs to get up off his ass and improve himself and take responsibility and do things. That's all we need to do. He needs to get up off his ass and
Right.
protect his women and children. He needs to get up off his ass and go to work and bring in resources.
Mm-hmm.
I can go on and on. We could start a game called "The Black Man Need to Get Up Off His Ass and the Black Man Need to Get Up Off His Ass
Right.
and
Take care of his kids, teach his
the black
boys.
the Black Man Need to Get Up Off His Ass and grow the
Stop
fuck
being
up."
Makes
rowdy.
his family good.
Then
Like I
he's
said, it's not. This isn't a hard solution. It's a very easy fix. The problem is you got too many derelict dudes. You got too many effeminate men. You got too many overly sex deviants who are consumed with demonic energy. Too many hateful, broken, bitter men. Too many girly men. Too many fraidy cats. And then too many men who are jealous of women because the women are competing with them for the love of men. This is what's going
Right.
on.
Yeah, and this is very bad because we cannot be waiting till all these things should be going on all the time like this.
The black man is a punk. And you know what? And we acting like we don't know that this is true.
mm-hmm.
Why are we sugarcoating everything? Why we don't why why we don't state the obvious? The black man is a punk. He's a sissy. He's a girly guy. He's into wearing women's clothes and shoes. He's into arguing with women because he has no manhood in him. Anytime a man sits up on a platform and comfortable with saying things like, man, they get me triggered, I'm going in, and doesn't realize that that's an attribute of a female,
Mm-hmm.
tells you that there's a lot of black men who are confused about their sexuality and don't have any goddamn clue what it is to be a man. Arguing with women on social media has nothing to do with being a man. I hate to break that news to you guys. Now, I know some of you don't want to hear that,
Uh-huh.
but arguing with women and fighting with women, especially in plain view, that has nothing to do with being a man. That's not manhood. That's called cowardice. Cowards argue with women and fight with women. Strong men do not argue. Strong, manly, fearless men, men of means, men of honor, warriors, do not argue and fight with women. Only cowards and sissies fight with women. Let's say that, everybody. Let's see how that sounds. Only
Only
cowards
cowards and
and
sisters
sissies argue and
Um,
fight with
fight with
women.
women.
All right, let's all say it together. Now let's get something going. Let's get a rhythm here, okay, everybody? On three.
Until
One, two, three. Only
only
cowards
cowards
and
and
sissies
sisters
argue and
argue
fight
and
with
fight with
women.
women.
and fight.
Let's do it one more time. I don't think anybody heard us. Let's do it one more time. One, two, three. Only
Only
cowards
cowards
and
and
sissies
sissies
argue and
argue and
fight
fight.
with
about
women.
women. Right.
Yes. And and is it me or is it they also creating additional slavery? Do you know though? You do know we do know that prison is another form of slavery. And by getting young boys and stuff like that in prison, and they quicker to go in if they don't have their fathers in their lives to teach them correctly. They got this element out here that's
Let me
taking them
explain
down the
something
line
to
to
you.
prison.
Let me explain something to you.
Hmm.
Young black boys are in worse danger than going to prison when they don't have their fathers in their lives.
Hmm.
Prison is the least that can happen to them.
Hmm.
They're in a lot more trouble than that. I mean, their very mind is at risk of absolutely corroding like a piece of metal.
Uh-huh.
It
Okay.
is vital that a boy has his father in his life.
Hmm.
His father is his everything.
Hmm.
He gets what he needs from the mother. The rest comes from the father. The father teaches the boy how to be a man. He teaches him about himself. He knows what the boy is thinking. He understands what the boy is going through when he has those testosterone moments. He teaches him how to understand and how to deal with them. He teaches him how to properly suppress his emotions and keeps himself in good self-control. He teaches him about ego, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a warrior, what it means to protect your women and children. All of these teachings come from the father. And if the father isn't around, it is devastating to a young boy. It's like taking a machine gun, putting it on auto and put it on a stick and just spin it around while it's rapidly firing.
Right.
The way it can just hit anyone and everyone. Father is everything to a young growing boy. He gets everything he needs as a boy, as a male, as a man from his father. His psyche comes from his father.
Hmm.
His father
Right.
installs the proper mentality into his psyche. The boy's out there acting up, boy's out there acting crazy. Comes in, the father straightens him out. I remember when my older brother went out and tried to beat up a girl. Came back in the house bragging about it, and my father absolutely lit his ass up.
Hmm.
He learned quickly that day that boys do not beat up girls. And he learned why.
Yeah.
So you don't know, and the thing about this is they're trying to cover this up and blame this on black women.
Mm.
It's the black woman who are raising the boys to be effeminate. No, it's not. Black women aren't raising their boys to be effeminate.
No.
Hell, black women are out here trying to find proper male influences. I've
Exactly.
even seen some black mothers put on boxing gloves and try to box with their sons
Mm-hmm.
to try to get them thinking like a man.
Mm-hmm.
I see black women trying to do whatever they can to make sure their boys grow up manly.
Yeah.
They put them to work. They make them do exercise. They put them in martial art classes. They encourage them to join a football team, basketball team. They're doing everything that they
Baseball.
can. What are you talking about, effeminate? Black women ain't trying to hear that. They don't want no effeminate sons.
Mm-mm.
So I don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all got black women fucked up. They ain't doing that. They're trying to get these boys as manly as possible. It's your failure as a leader and failure as a father that has destroyed the psyche of these boys, and you don't want to take responsibility for it. You see, what you don't want people to know is you're the reason why these young boys are turning into monsters.
Right.
Because the mother can't do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some women are going to falter depending on how many children they have. You have any idea? You niggas, well, no, you don't, because you don't raise your children. You niggas have any idea how much energy one child takes out of a parent? And that's one child. I've seen one child wear out two parents,
Yeah.
wore them out. So imagine a single mother with 3 and 4 kids, especially when they're young,
Woo.
running all over the place, running up and down the walls, jumping off the roofs and stuff, just going buck wild, working her nerves.
It's gonna be a problem.
Right, she could become overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy raising children, especially by yourself. She's not supposed to be dealing with these children by herself. There's supposed to be a male father in there bringing peace and harmony and balance to the home. So the kids don't drive the mother crazy. So they
Mm-hmm.
don't drive the mother up the wall. So the mother doesn't lose her mind. There's supposed to be a father in there who's supposed to be an authoritator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
Nothing.
you leave the woman to fend for herself with these kids, and she does the very best she can. Some kids are going to slip through the cracks. They can't do everything all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
They're going to get worn down. There are mothers out here with 2 and 3 jobs. That black mother, I'm glad she hit the lottery, the one with that $88 million. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad she's still rich and she's gotten most of her money back from that fool she gave it to. Before
Mm-hmm.
she hit the lottery, she had 5 jobs. And
Five.
one of those jobs, she worked at Walmart as a cashier.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all something, people. I got so much respect for black women.
Right.
It gives me goosebumps because they hard charging. Out here working at Walmart as a cashier, dealing with the public. You have any idea how tough it is to deal with the public? Especially if you got a house full of kids, you got 4 other jobs to go to,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to deal with the public for 2 and 3 hours to make a few dollars to feed your children. You have any idea how mentally tasking that is? So you
Yeah.
niggas don't think about the little things. That's
Right.
mentally tasking. And don't let somebody come in with some damn attitude and mad at the world and all this. Now it's an argument. She's stressed out. She got four other jobs. She got to work. Her day just beginning. She got four other jobs she got to get to. She probably don't do them all on the same day. They probably spread out through the week. But she got four other jobs she got to go to. She got mouths to feed. The reason why I give a black woman so much respect and credit, because you look at a situation like that, 3, 4, 5 kids, 5 jobs, an average person would break. I'm telling you right now, I'm probably one of the strongest men I know other than my father. I can't even handle that. I'd have been on some look. I'm gonna give these kids up for adoption, or I'm gonna give them to my family members or something. They're not driving me crazy. I'm not running myself in the ground. I wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have been able to handle all that.
Right.
That's a lot. That's some serious mental shit,
Yeah.
and it's concentrated. It ain't like it's spread out and there's different parts of mental anguish. Nah, that shit is concentrated and focused in one area. So it's always banging at them. How they don't lose their minds most of the time, I have no idea. And then, like I said, to be able to maintain that. See, y'all don't even understand what unconditional love is. See, that's unconditional love. She not running away from the situation. She got 3, 4 or 5 kids, 5 jobs. It's hard than a motherfucker, but she's straight hard charging. She gonna make
Right.
sure her kids eat. She gonna make sure her kids got got clothes on their back. She gonna make sure her kids got a roof over their head. She gonna make sure her kids can get to the doctor when they get sick,
Right.
even if she can't even get any adequate sleep. She gonna make sure they have,
Uh-huh.
even if she has to go without.
Right.
That ain't no average person. And you weak ass niggas can't even take care of one child. Won't even make a $50 child support payment. Arguing about that, mad about that. Got a whole goddamn podcast with 9 niggas talking about you don't want to pay $50. And then got the nerve to say the little $25 you send, right? The baby mama is using it to paint the town red. She taking your little $25, going out buying herself luxurious things with your little $25. What the hell is she doing with $25? And then you wanna I'm trying to figure out how the fuck you know that. You ain't living with her. You ain't there taking care of your kids. So how the fuck you know what she's doing? How the hell you know she done took your little $25 and went out and bought a brand new dress? How do you know that? You got a private eye following her? Well, you got to pay them. If you can pay a damn private eye, you can pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the mother is spending the money on herself. She just bought a brand new a $250 coat with your $25.
They pull that out of their behind. They don't know what she's doing. Otherwise, they would have evidence.
And so a black woman, going through all of this, I have the utmost respect for them, man. Where would many of you be right now if it were not for your mothers? Working them bullshit ass jobs, wanting to give you better food, but can only afford Chef Boyardee for the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want to know what the topic is now.
working hard, overtime, hurting, feet hurt, ankles hurt,
Back.
back hurt, kids on you come home, you beat, kids are flying all over the house without wings at the
Telling
speed
them.
of light, tearing shit up, knocking shit over, done
Yeah.
spilled shit on the floor,
And
done tore the house up.
and you wonder why she go off and start
Right,
whipping behinds because you just made war work for me. Y'all gonna clean this up.
right. You got to deal with all that.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is why I love them so much and admire them so much. Sometimes I wish I had the 1-2 that they have. Hell, I would probably be, and I'm a hard charging dude now. Hell, if I had the 1-2 a lot of black women have, shit, I'd probably own half the goddamn world by now. When I sit back and watch them go through it and endure and deal with this kind of adversity and the will and the 1-2 that they have, I can only sit back in awe and admire it. Sometimes I wish I had it. I mean, they got some serious 1-2. But even they break down after a while. They can't do it all the time,
Hmm.
and so some kids are going to slip through the cracks
Right.
because the mother just can't sustain it all the time.
Hmm.
She's going to break down.
Yeah.
Let's not be unrealistic, and I will understand it. See, these dudes want you to be unrealistic.
Yeah.
While they sit back and do nothing, they want to blame the mother for doing everything that she can. The father ain't doing shit. Who is making sure you eat? Who is making sure you go to bed with some covers so you don't freeze during the winter? Who's making sure you got shoes on your feet? Who's making sure you get to these doctor visits? Who's making sure you got a roof over your head? Who's making sure you get toys for Christmas or gifts for your birthday or enjoy family events like Thanksgiving like other children do?
Hmm.
I don't have
No
to
one.
say it. You know what Tupac said. Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving. It ain't just Thanksgiving she made miracles. She made miracles on Thanksgiving. She made miracles on Christmas. She made miracles on New Year's. She made miracles 4th of July. Made miracles on Easter. All the holidays she make miracles.
Not to mention the smaller ones she makes every day, just because it's
Yeah.
Monday.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't got no respect for you niggers, man. Got
Hmm.
no respect. You supposed to be the strong one. And you the weakest link.
Yeah.
The black woman is stronger than many of you. And that's a problem.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the most problem we are having now.
I'm sorry, ladies. I just went on a rant. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. The topic. What the topic is? Well, we have moved away from the 16-year-old boy who shot the 20-year-old girl. We getting into why this child had a gun. Who's the parent? Why the father ain't stepped forward over about the son? Why the parents ain't come out about the girl? You know, and this and not having a father in the home is turning our boys into these killers. These another group who have no trouble killing women and children. Hmm. Yeah,
Right, because right, even mothers are doing all these kind of things for their children, but there is no man, there's no black man saying any good thing about the mothers, rather than saying, "Oh, it's their fault. They are the people makes the men this way. They are the women are our fault. They are the problems of everything." Even women have sacrificed themselves for you to teach their children the right path they have to be. Why you don't want to do that and you still blaming the mothers for anything? You don't want to do your part. And if they are doing what they can do to, you are trying to tell them they are their problems. But you are the one creating the problems because you are the man. You are the father. And you are the one creating the problems. You don't want to support your wife. You don't want to support your mama. You don't want to support your woman in your area, in your wood, in your neighbors. So when something happens, God, who should they blame? They will blame you, the man, because you're supposed to fix it, and you did not. So now we're going to blame the men for everything because the women are trying their best to do whatever they can do to support their children and their family as well. Fathers being fathers being fatherless to all children, and they don't want to behave as a father in any way. I was trying to tell these fathers that, hey, raise up, rise up, just rise up and tell boys, come on, let's protect our children, let's protect the children and the women, and that is going to help us a lot. But when we are not doing that, and we are rather blaming the women for everything, do you think we're going to save our children? Because the women are trying their best. Assuming what Black Knight is saying, if you have 4 or 5 children and you don't have any father around helping you, how can you take care of those 5 children? You alone as a mother, you have to sell everything that you have to even take care of them, all because you love them and you care. But the fathers don't care anything about the children.
yeah, yeah.
Fathers don't care anything about children. They don't care anything about their boys. So how are you going to?
All they care about is having sex with women, non-black women. That's all they care about.
Right, and that one is
They
not
don't
going
get out
to
of
help
their
us.
responsibility.
Right.
They thinking that they're gonna get out of responsibility for any children they create with um with non-black women. They just bringing their dereliction over to another community. That's all they doing. And if they gonna be like, and if they create a kid like one of them guys did, that kid is gonna hunt them down and kill them. He ain't falling for it's your mother fault bull. Remember that one that went after the baseball player? Hmm.
Right.
Hey, Honey Spice, what's up, Twin Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why we act like we don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
You know, we're afraid to call a spade a spade. The issue is these Negroes are just worthless. This generation of black men and the older generation, and I'm really ashamed of the older dudes, especially the ones my age or older. I'm really, really shocked at some of them. They've sold out. Sold out.
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
they sold out. They left their community unprotected. They're not warriors any
I don't
longer.
even,
They cowards.
I no longer get upset because
Hmm.
this element on social media is going to continue to exist. So what we got to do is we have to build something that will stand against it automatically wherever it pops up. That's
Hmm.
why we're building gent culture to combat this kind of evil anti-black woman culture. Okay,
Okay. All right, I got it.
maybe we should shut the show now. There's just too many long, awkward pauses.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna shut it down. We talked about our topic. We talked about the cause of what why the cause of a 16-year-old shooting a 20-year-old. Yeah, fatherhood. I don't get why the manosphere they preach and holler about black fathers matter. They talk about
Oh,
brotherhood, but they don't
and
follow it
Dame,
up with action, huh? Yes.
give them an email where they can contact you. Listen,
Uh-huh.
contact Lady Dame if you have a topic that you want us to talk about. If you scrolling and you see something, okay, that you think we should cover, send it to Dame's email. Then drop an email for them that they can send you
Okay.
um, articles. I mean, if you come across an article you think we should touch on, just send it to the email that Dame's about to drop, and we'll get it on there for you and tell you our take on it. Tell you how we feel about it. All right. So if you got anything you want us to talk about, a particular topic, an article, a video you want us to comment on, just go ahead and try, hit that email up. Send it to us in that email, and we'll deal with it.
All right. There's my email. That is not a letter O behind my last name. That is actually a zero. Uh-huh. I was being contrary. Oh, Deacon, thanks for the cash app. Yes, I received it. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Hmm. Yeah.
Jot that email down, y'all. Like I said, if y'all want us to talk about any particular topic, you want to know the opinions of the Black Knight and the Lady Dame and Abby and the Ebony Star Network, shoot us some articles that you may come across. You want us to talk about something particular, shoot it to us in that email, and we will address it.
Yes, we
You
will.
got a right. You got a particular article you want us to talk about, something that you saw you want us to talk about. You got a video you want us to see that you want us to comment on. You want to know what our take is on it. Drop it in that email. And you guys can send us topics. You can send us news, things you want us to talk about. Feel free, drop it in that email.
All right. All right, everybody. Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Your participation in the chat, the cash app, the like and subscribing and the support, and don't forget to share.
Right,
All
and don't be shy.
right.
Like I
Mhm.
said, you come across something that you're looking at and you think that and you triggered and you think that it's worth talking about, shoot it to us in that email that Dane just dropped, and we will get with it. Trust me, we'll deal with it.
Okay. All right, Yvette. We about to drop off. No, 16 and 20. I was being cryptic, and when you see the replay, you'll understand why. But it was good for you to show up. We're gonna catch the replay. All right. Peace, power, and unity, everyone.
No music.
No music. All right.
No, just cut the show.
All right. All right. Peace, power, and unity.
Peace, power, and unity, y'all.
Mhm.